This is topic 2, lesson 4, the Phoenicians. These are the vocab words. The first vocab word is import. Definition: a good or service sold within a country that is produced in another country. Sentence: a Samsung phone sold in America is an import. That would be because it's probably made in China. And my example would be made in China. If you look at any of your clothing, hopefully it says made in the USA, but a lot of clothing, to get it made cheap, it's made in Asia somewhere. So you might want to check that out. So an import is anything that we buy in the United States, but it was made somewhere other than the United States. Next word, export. This is the opposite of import. So that would be a good or service that's produced within a country and sold outside the country's borders. My sentence: a car made in America and sold somewhere else is an export. Example, Ford vehicles. So if, for instance, all Ford vehicles are made in America, actually a lot of them are made in Michigan, and if it is sold and bought in, say, Europe anywhere, that would be an export. We are selling another country things we have produced. So this is showing something being made here. And anything over in these countries on the continent of Africa, South America, Asia, Australia, Europe, any of that would be exports. Next word, navigation. Definition: the art of steering a boat from place to place. My sentence: Moana and Maui use star navigation to find the island of Te Fiti. Let me redo that. Moana and Maui used star navigation to find the island of Te Fiti. Example, star navigation. You could put GPS, you could put numerous different things for examples, stars. Yeah. So here's a picture of them not using star navigation, but here's a picture of them anyway, navigating on the water. So navigation is kind of like your map app on your phone. If you have a smartphone, that would be your navigation. A lot of cars have navigation. It's just getting from one place to another. Next word, colony. Definition: a group of people living in a new territory with ties to a different state. So this would be, there are no colonies now in America anymore because they're now states. But when the British people came to America, they were still Britons, but they came to America, so they made some colonies here. My sentence: the Pilgrims came over on the Mayflower to start a colony in America. Colony just meaning that they came to America, but they were still belonged to Britain. My example, the U.S., 13 colonies. That was the very first, when all the British people were here along the east coast of America, is the 13 colonies that you'll learn about next year with Mr. Smith. Another picture of some of the first colonies. Next word, cultural diffusion. Definition: the spread of cultural traits from one culture to another. Sentence: celebrating Cinco de Mayo in the U.S. is cultural diffusion. Examples: Cinco de Mayo, Chinese food in the U.S. It could be anything. So let me explain. Celebrating Cinco de Mayo in the U.S. Is cultural diffusion because Cinco de Mayo is a Mexican holiday. It's a May 5th, right? And that's something that is celebrated in Mexico. So if you celebrate it in the U.S., that's cultural diffusion. It's bringing part of the Mexican culture into the United States. And it's kind of like having McDonald's everywhere. McDonald's is a United States American thing. If you see a McDonald's in Japan or China, that is cultural diffusion because It's something that started in the United States and it has now diffused to other countries. Last word, alphabet. Definition, a small set of letters or symbols, each of which stands for a single sound. Sentence, the ABCs is a song about the alphabet. Examples, cuneiform was an alphabet. The Russian alphabet, there's other examples like hieroglyphics. There is other alphabets like for the Spanish language. I think we all know what the alphabet is. And here is just another picture of ABCs all the way through Z.